Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who thought a court-martial was a tennis umpire, Craig Charles.
You know, as a comedian, I used to do a routine all about bird watchers, peeping toms and lookout men. It was mainly observational comedy. But it got me thinking, there are two kinds of people in this life, watchers and doers. Me, I'm a watcher, because it saves getting off the couch, doesn't it? But the 6 new competitors here to fight for a place in our series semi-finals are most definitely doers. In fact, they'll do you over. They'll do you in. Let's take a look at who's doing the business this week.
Craig, look out for our number 26 seed Thunderbird 4. They're flying, but Fatboy Tin and Vercingetorix meet them. The Banshee team have fought before. Nightmare, they're newcomers, and Spawn of Scudder, they're seeded number 10.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to pick a fight with any of these guys for the melee. This is Spawn of Scudder. They've got 120-mile-an-hour worth of pneumatic spikage there, looking to pick a fight with Plunderbird later, so they want to get through this melee. Here we have the Banshee team. Well, that's quite a creature you've created. Why the Banshee? What's the story?
It's a female Irish spirit whose wailing warns of impending death and doom.
Ooh, modelled on Graham's wife, I hear. She'll kill him for that. This is the Nightmare team. It's their first wars. Last-minute preparations going on. Is it called Nightmare because this is part of a bed, isn't it?
And it was a nightmare to build as well.
And we've got motorway signs here, which actually reminds me of a roadblock. The winners of the first wars, it could bode well for them.
It's Demolition Derby Day again. Hey, let the wars begin!
Will the pneumatic flipper give house robots their worst nightmare? Tossing and turning in its sleep, you bet. It can self-right, you see. And team member Lee Summer loves his judo. This could have a real kick.
Hiya, my name's Nigel. This is my neighbour Malcolm and his son Lee. This is our robot Nightmare. It's made of old bits and bobs, but mainly we've got a flipper at the front. We can drive upside down. We can go 10 miles an hour in any direction. And this is our first wars, and we did quite well in the qualifiers, so who knows what's going to happen.
From Huddersfield, Banshee.
The gruesome, screaming, wailing Banshee is actually the slowest in this first battle at 5 miles an hour. It revolves, took 5 weeks to update from Shark Attack in the last series. The weaponry comes from lathe tools. But in the last series, Shark Attack was like a great white without teeth. Pathetic. Behemoth knocked it over, and then the house robots came in swiftly for the mercy kill. It wasn't impressive.
Hi, my name's Graham. This is Team Banshee. This is Alan. This is Richard. And this is Banshee, our second robot for the wars. What we have is a rotating barrel with 4 cutters on the side, which rotates at around 200 revs a minute. We're going to thrash shunt with this, definitely. On the top we have a non-rotating head, which have hypnotic flashing eyes. So if we don't get there with the cutters, the hypnotic flashing eyes will do.
From Grays in Essex, and seeded number 10, Spawn of Scudder.
As a pneumatic flipping piercing spike can run upside down on its 4 wheels from a sack barrow and 2 starter motors from a saloon car should ensure Scudder doesn't splatter. As Scudder's revenge, they nearly went all the way in the last series, getting rid of Zeus and then broiling Thermidor. They went through their heat because Pussycat were ruled out for having an illegal blade there. But finally, 101, too strong for Scudder's revenge. Now they're back as Spawn of Scudder.
We are the Spawn of Scudder team. This is Luke, Graham and I'm Darren, and this is our robot Spawn. It's basically powered by 2 V6 starter motors, which means we've got probably more power than everyone else. We've got this nasty spiky weapon, which basically sticks it up the other teams. The basic construction is all 25mm aluminium box section, all anodised in this beautiful gold colour.
It looks better than the other robots, it kicks butt better than the other robots, and we're better looking than Plunderbirds.
and we're on.
Roboteers, stand by.
The teams get more and more ridiculous. There's Nightmare, with Nigel Paget, Malcolm Summers and Lee Summers, and Banshee, the team there. Graham Walker at the controls, and Spawn of Scudder with the hard team, Darren Ball, Graham Warner, Luke Chapman.
2, 1.
They're great mates, Spawn of Scudder, they all work together. Banshee, now there's the lathe tools. Do you see them at the bottom of the revolving frame of Banshee? Trying to create damage to Spawn of Scudder with the polycarbonate shell. The warthog features, but that's the danger with a robot shaped like Banshee. You can be toppled and thrust away by that spike there. Venomous Spawn of Scudder. Oh, the 4-old head, I would imagine it's been created by Alan Marchington, who's a retired arts teacher. Is really crumpled down there. Spawn of Scudder, that's a ferocious weapon. Nightmare, a tentative nudge. That head, by the way, is made of clay. One of Alan's hobbies is ceramics. Headache? I don't think any pills are gonna make that one feel better. Look at the face. On the flame bit now. They're destroying Banshee. Took so much work, 5 weeks of work to make that. And the house robots have utterly destroyed it. Oh dear. That's brilliant. That really has made my day. Go on, kill it off. Kill it off. Spawn of Scudder trying to stay away from Nightmare, and just about doing so. There's Graham Walker, an electrical engineer of the Banshee team. Oh dear. And the Banshee team has been totally destroyed. There's Nightmare. Its own little war now with Spawn of Scudder. Onto the arena. Flipper! Over it comes. Roly-poly. Great paintwork, isn't it? Spawn of Scudder, Nightmare survive. Banshee go out.
Banshee loses its head and goes out of the competition.
So the moaning and wailing of the Banshee predicted only one death. Unfortunately for you guys.
We didn't say which one, though, did we?
You didn't. I tell you, it's a good job we got the gag in about looking like your wife before the battle. But we'll have it again, shall we? What's she going to say to that?
Good question, that. Probably a relief. At least you won't have something to compare herself with.
Exactly. We've had a bit of a facelift for the Banshee, but
A little bit of makeup. It'll be bright as rain Friday morning.
For the next battles, no problem.
A bit of powder, perhaps a bandage around the head, just to replace that a little bit, and we'll be running again in another 24 hours.
Oh, well, it's just a shame they're out, though, isn't it?
After all, Banshee they're out. Spawn of Scudder and Nightmare go through. It's great fun, and more coming up. First in Getterix, Fatboy Tin against the Blunderbird team.
Friends, Romans and Roboteers, Vercingetorix are back for more damage, we hope. That's Beryllium carbonic alloy, if anyone at home knows what that means. Good news. Buzz Lightyear's wings are made of it. They've got a flipper, self-righter and a crusher all in one, so could be good news for them. Fatboy Tin, new to the wars, welcome. This is a beautiful robot, probably the biggest we've seen. It's got pneumatic punching fists there, powered by windscreen wiper motors. It's driven by a wheelchair motor, I think, and it used to spin, which meant it could self-right, but it was overweight because it's so big, so those have had to go, so hazard for them. And look who's back, it's the Blunderbird boys.
Hello, Philippa.
Hang on, Brian, that's not Philippa.
Oh, hello, Craig.
It's not Craig either, mate. It must be the new girl.
Oh, well, since you're new, these are the facts.
We are the Blunderbird team, and that is Brian.
And that is Mike.
And this is our new robot, Blunderbird 4. Now, generally, we're very nice people.
But genuinely, that's not a very nice robot.
But, of course, we are here to win.
Now, I understand one of you's blind.
Who you been talking to? My driving's not that bad.
No, I think she means me, Mike. Yeah, and?
I only asked. On with the mellows.
So what's she look like then, Mike?
Very nice, Brian. Very nice.
From the Isle of Wight, Vercingetorix.
Named after a hero of ancient times, and the axe is an age-old weapon. Its materials Kevlar and Lex and very modern. Top speeds of 6 miles an hour as they go roaming about. Yeah, get it? Latin, it was all Greek to me in the last series, because I thought they had the beating of Terrapin despite taking punishment from the house robots. But Terrapin's pressure and pushing eventually brought about the pit of oblivion. Just.
Hi there, I'm Ian Gear. This is Team Vercingetorix with our robot, Vercingetorix 3. This is our third war. Alistair here, he's our weapons engineer. He's controlling the big blade and the lifting beam. And our weapons coordinator, Tom. And this year we're gonna win.
From Leighton Buzzard, Fat Boy Tim.
They wanted their robot to look like a robot, not like others here. Sir Killalot's taken offence. 2 pneumatic spikes, a wheelchair motor, 2 windscreen wipers. The lot, under 200 quid.
I'm John Lewis. This is my son Richard. This is our robot, Fat Boy Tim. He's built as a classic robot. He's got real attitude. He's got arms and spikes to blow the other robot away. Hopefully he'll have enough power to push him around the ring as well. He's running on a 36-volt motor and compressed air spikes. So we're just hoping he can do the business.
From Alton in Hampshire and seeded number 26, Plunderbird 4.
Their main weapon, they say, is fear, surprise, brute force. Oh, and a slicer-dicer. 15 mile an hour top speeds from 2 motors. The shell is aeroplane aluminium. These boys plan to soar. Oh, yes, they walked the walk and talked the talk last time around with Blunderstorm. But they were idle boasts, and Thermidor much too strong. A technical malfunction meant that Blunderstorm went out there back this time with a much better robot. I'll tell you what, they didn't half arrive in style today. They arrived with their secret machine at an unnamed RAF base somewhere in the south of England. Actually, it was RAF Odium. Thanks to the boys for that. All their help. Mike Honslow, Brian Kilburn, great lads. Mike, a sculpture model maker, built a succession of Blunderbirds, once built a full-size model of the Titanic, added sticky back plastic and toilet roll, so he does know what he's doing here. And Brian, he describes himself as a professional layabout. His hobbies are curries and beer. He's the weapons operator, partially sighted, as we've heard. The Plunderbird 4 machine had arrived. Slowly, but surely, into the watching eyes of the Robot Wars world. And I'll tell you something, Mike, Brian, Plunderbird 4, they are not here to conduct, in any sense of the word, international rescue.
We are the Plunderbird team,
And this is our new robot, Plunderbird 4.
and we're here to teach you lot a lesson. And that is Brian Kilburn, who has a new product manager, and hobbies include dressing up and looking hard.
And that is Mike Onslow, a mould maker and sculptor, who also likes dressing up and looking hard.
So don't forget, the boys are back.
Stand by.
Vercingetorix, the Isle of Wight team, bringing us back to reality. Fat Boy Tin from Leighton Buzzard, John Lewis and Richard Lewis, his son, and there's Plunderbird, Mike and Brian. I wonder what they do at weekends.
2, 1, activate.
Plunderbird by far the fastest of these machines. There's Fat Boy Tin, by far the highest, 1.2 metres. That's the tallest robot we've ever had, actually, in Robot Wars. Compares with, well, look, compares with Killalot there in the distance. But it's a trundler, isn't it? A real throwback. The old robots of sci-fi in the 50s and 60s. Plunderbird 4 with the slicer, dicer, Vercingetorix with the axe and lifter. Fat Boy Tin with the smile. The spikes as well, to be fair. There's Killalot out of the CPZ. And lifting Fat Boy Tin up. Here we go, any moment now. Fat Boy Tin, once it's toppled, is there any way back? Thunderbird 4 moving away. Vercingetorix, Timber! Oh! Bounced on to Sir Killalot's face. And eventually over she goes. Fat Boy Tin. Well, that's it really, isn't it? Vercingetorix now causing trouble to the aluminium shell of Fat Boy Tin. In comes Sergeant Bash. Very, very tall. But the Plunderbird boys knew, the Vercingetorix boys knew, and the House Robots knew. Once you toppled Fat Boy Tin, really, this mash-up melee was going to be over before it started. Dead metal spinning away. Oh, Plunderbird's been toppled as well by Vercingetorix. Now, it's too late to affect this one. They'll go through, but that's a key clue to future battles. Fat Boy Tin were immobilised way before, but that's a key issue. And other robots will have watched the way that Vercingetorix toppled Plunderbird 4. Now righting the Plunderbird team, almost inviting him, come on, come back to dance, and maybe the House Robots will cause some more problems with you. We know Fat Boy Tin. Oh, this is going to be interesting. On the arena flipper, I wonder how far they can throw this monster robot. Not very far. Weighty, 77.1 kilos, and there with it went Vercingetorix. Getting in too close. Look at that. Well, they were overconfident, Ian Gear, Alistair Curtis Horsfall and son Tom. Vercingetorix, though, has that three-neck arm. You see the self-riding arm. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Damage to Fat Boy Tin. Oh, right through the smile. He's not smiling now. Smiling on the other side of their faces, the opponents and the House Robots. Fat Boy Thin now.
Well, one in the eye for Fat Boy Tin. Plunderbird 4 and Vercingetorix go through.
That is the first snail to have fought in Robot Wars. John here is going to explain what happened. The Fat Boy Tin team are out, unfortunately. Talk us through it.
Well, Fat Boy Tim's so big he won't go in the shed, and there's not room in the garage, so we keep him in the garden under a big sheet. The snail must have got up inside. So basically the snail's been in Robot Wars, but he's still in there. When we took the cover off, he was just in the back there.
Do you think he caused you the problem?
I doubt.
Oh, right.
No,
So talk me through exactly what happened there, engineering-wise. Forget the wildlife.
Just the main battery lead come off, so once we lost all drive, we was at it. So it's just one of them things.
But look at that, you sneaked animal. Isn't that brilliant? It's priceless.
Oh, yeah, we're taken back. My wife would kill me if let anything happen to him now, so we'll have to go back in the garden.
Oh no, the final snail in the Fat Boy Tin coffin. They're out. Thunderbird 4, Vercingetorix through along with Spawn and Scudder and Nightmare. So this is how they line up. The seeds kept apart. Scudder will play Vercingetorix. Thunderbird 4 will match up with the Nightmare.
More championship battles in a moment. But first, my fingers are just twitching for a game of pinball.
Spawn and Scudder dominating our test of driving skill, pace, ability. 5 robots to come, and they're all of them very, very good.
From Dublin and seeded number 21, Dietor.
Great competitors. Kieran Byrne on the right, Peter Redmond in the middle, and young lad on the left. Did he pass a resemblance to a Robot Wars presenter? He's Jack Charles.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So they'll go straight to the barrels. 5 points for each of the barrel knocked over. But this is not just a test of driving control, it's speed as well. That's 50 points as they got in behind Bash. Hit the arena target. Just nudging the big sphere out of the way, but that metal comes in now, and that will impede progress. There's the multi-ball release. You release those balls, 10 points. You've got to release them first, though. Giotto, well, they finally released them. I wonder if they've tagged themselves onto the multiple. No, they're okay. They're away, but this isn't a very quick run, lads. Points a bit hard to come by. 75 there. Another target now. If they can open the car doors, they'll get another 25 points, and they do so. So it's steady. The bell rings. That's a bowling ball, by the way, from the multi-ball release. On top of Giotto. We're used to seeing the fur on fire by now. That won't bother them. I don't think this run will bother Spawn of Scudder at the top of the leaderboard. Appreciated by the crowd at the arena, but no, it wasn't good enough. They're delighted with it. Steady, but not spectacular. OK, that was the start. Most robots go for the barrels, easy points, and 50 there. Then the multiple release, but finally, too slow to get the points on the board there. The big 75, and then the car door. But that was it. 180 points, though, look, which shows you the wonderful achievement of Spawn of Scudder, knocking up 245. 4 robots still to come in the Pinball Warrior.
It looks like everybody wants to get their oily mitts on that pinball trophy. But right now, let's get back to the wars.
Great fun to come, no doubt, from Blunderbird. 4 against Nightmare. First up, though, Vercingetorix against those Spawn of Scudder ruffians, types, great sportsmen.
We're having a team meeting just before we go into the arena. Huddle together. What are your tactics?
We're going to make them fly, just like we did with the birthday cake.
Ah. And you want to get through this, don't you? Because you want to have a go at Blunderbird.
We do, yes. Yeah, I mean, that's old needle there. You know, we've got to sort it out once and for all, haven't we, really?
So who's the hardest,
that's it. Who's the hardest?
Yeah. Can you see with those shades on?
Yes, just about.
Brilliant, Spawn. Let's see what your T-shirt says. Resistance. It's futile. Our team from the aerospace industry. Are you feeling high design?
Oh, yes.
Yes, of course you are. And you won't be put off by their flashing hypnotic blue lights. I think that's about the only threat, really.
They're only there for, to be smashed, really.
Yes, they have got a spike that travels at 120 miles an hour, however.
So?
We travel 121, it won't catch us.
OK, well,
And I think it shoots over the top of us anyway.
Well, let's hope so. Who's driving?
Me.
Let's see if your hands are shaking. Oh, no problem. No sweat, cool, calm and collected.
They've certainly hyped this one up.
Roboteers, stand by.
Spawn of Scudder, Graham Warner in the middle, Darren Ball on the left, Luke Chapman to the right. And Vercingetorix, the aerospace workers, Ian Gear, Alistair Curtis Horsfall and his son Tom, student at Downside Middle School, supporter of Manchester United. Vercingetorix, there at the top of your picture. Spawn of Scudder has that spike we saw earlier. Vercingetorix has the little pickaxe and also the lifting arm, but it looks as if Spawn of Scudder has the power. They've held them on the arena wall, and that's great tactical awareness by Darren Ball, the driver, pushing them into the CPZ, which means, of course, that Killalot can come out. Killalot can grapple with Vercingetorix and claw away at the tracks of Vercingetorix and cause major problems there. Oh, look, it's buckled on the side. Now, I wonder whether Vercingetorix has really been impaired. It's moving sluggishly. Certainly Spawn of Scudder on top. The tracks seem to be moving, but only, I think, because Spawn of Scudder is pushing it backwards. A great heave-ho tug of war. Look at Dead Metal waiting there. If anything loose, a little scraps to come its way. There's the ref bot as well. The ref bot coming in. Can nudge 2 robots apart if the ref bot judges it's got to a stalemate. That's what it's in there for. Pushing now, Vercingetorix back into the CPZ again. Killalot, 280 kilos of machine. It literally can bisect opponents. Spawn of Scudder, tentative look. I think Darren Ball, Graham Warner and Luke Chapman believe, like I do, Vercingetorix is almost finished. So how do you finish them off? Do you leave it to the house robots? Refbot coming in and judging whether or not they are immobilised. Oh, you can see, look, the crumpled side of Vercingetorix. It's all over for them. They're out of it. No control will matter now. Oh, the crumpling, crushing force of Sir Killalot. The great claw. Now the cutting blade of Dead Metal. It's grisly to watch, isn't it? They lift Vercingetorix up, all 80.1 kilos. So light as a feather for Sir Killalot. There's Dead Metal spinning around. And the lifting arm goes almost back into its shell because they know there's nothing more to be done. For a minute I thought it was going to get wedged in underneath then. The flipper on the arena floor. Dead Metal once again, the sparks fly. Right into the very heart of Vercingetorix. They want to get it out of there now. They want to control the damage so that they can come back to fight another day in the next series. Vercingetorix beaten. And Spawn of Scudder, they survive.
Vercingetorix turned into a fossil. The winners, Spawn of Scudder. It was going so well. I mean, it's like it looked like you couldn't get the axe out for a while.
Yeah, it's a strong robot, that one.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it just started to pound you into submission against the barriers.
A lot of power.
Then push you into Killalot zone. And
that's what caused the main problem.
Yeah.
Killalot has crushed the Lexan on the side, and it's jammed up the tracks.
Yeah, it seems... it's good tax from the other team, though, wasn't it? Hard pushing, gets you into Killalot zone, and you don't really stand a chance then, do you?
No, not unearthly.
And it took you waltzing again, spinning you around. Are you dizzy?
No. No. We were still moving at the end of, just...
Well, we did notice that, but, you're out. You'll come back next time, though, won't you?
Yeah.
You've had a good time.
Of course we will.
Yeah. What about you, young man?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You're not disillusioned, are you?
Nah.
You're going to build a bigger robot, aren't you?
Yeah.
A better robot.
We're going to get them next year.
You'll get them next year. Let's hear it for Vercingetorix. Cheers, guys. So, what was wrong with the old Scudder then?
She didn't have a sharp enough tongue.
Well, it looks like an overdeveloped pineal gland, doesn't it? Just coming out your forehead like...
It's our unicorn point.
Tactics are good, robot strong.
Yeah, it's used the same drive as last year, so it's just as strong, but we've got the weapon this year, so...
New chassis, a lot lighter, enabled us to incorporate the weapon. We didn't have the weight to play with last year.
Yeah.
So...
Well, you're through to the heat finals. Let's see how you do. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Spawn of Scudder.
Damage that Spawn did to you. Let's have a look. 2 little holes.
Yeah.
Well, what about this?
Killalot, Shunt, Dead Metal.
But I think they did very well, though, don't you?
Who? The house robots?
Spawn.
Nah, jammy.
I heard you earlier saying, they didn't cause us any damage. It's not right.
We nearly hit their gas bottle.
They nearly exploded.
So? Yeah. Good tactic of theirs, though.
Yeah. We had the weapons, they had the power.
Well, that is the name of the game, isn't it? One of them's going to win.
Yeah.
And this time it was power. Hang on. I hear you might not even make it to the heat final.
It's a bit touch and go. What happened is we thought we had a straightforward battery change, cylinder change. But once we got the batteries out of the way, we noticed the drive belt had snapped. And, it could be... It does take a little while, but we... if we get our finger out...
Yeah, well, you've got a couple of minutes, and if I was sort of standing around and have a chat with you, nah, I wouldn't do that, would I?
We could blame you then.
All right, get to work.
Vercingetorix. Eventually, then, the thumbs came down in the gladiatorial arena that is Robot Wars Plunderbird 4, and nightmares still to come.
So you said it had been a nightmare to build. How are you feeling right now? A bit of a nightmare?
I'm feeling very happy at the moment, and it's turned out to be quite a nice nightmare.
Because it's your first wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, the Plunderbird team weigh about as much as your flipper can flip. Is that the main tactic?
Well, yes, that and a fair bit of ramming, and just hopefully a bit of damage. I'll let you know in 5 minutes.
Hey, George, word in your shell like.
Yes, Mike.
We found out that other teams have been using tactics. We don't like tactics, do we, Brian?
No, we don't like any small minty things.
They're all mad in Hampshire.
Roboteers, stand by.
Brian Kilburn is available for stand-up comedy. There's Nightmare. And at the controls, Lee Summer, 14-year-old pupil at King Edward VII College. There's Mike Onslow. And Brian Kilburn, weapons operator of Thunderbird 4. They'll be the favourites here. Nightmare with, like Thunderbird 2, a wedge shape, quite classic to Robot Wars. There's the flipper as well. Very similar to Roadblock, earlier champions of Robot Wars. Bash and crash together. Panels from motorway signs took 12 weeks to make Nightmare. The new competitors has a self-riding mechanism riding up there onto the Slicer Dicer of Blunderbird 4, and they're stuck together. So it'll be Mike Onslow's job. He was on the right there to try and drag Blunderbird 4 away. Oh, now I wonder who will have the greater power of these two. You see now the ref bot coming in to separate the two robots because they were going nowhere. At the controls, Mike Onslow, the sculpture model maker. Loves his flying, loves his paragliding. Oh, but can he glide Blunderbird 4 back down to earth? That's where they were vulnerable, and remember we saw it earlier on when they were already through. It was a key tactic to be picked up, a Nightmare picked up on it. They flicked Blunderbird 4 up and over. Now the house robots can come in, Matilda and Shunt. And of course, Killalot's always there or thereabouts. If they're immobilised for 30 seconds, they're out of the competition. Nightmare will be looking to go through. There's metal here. Slicing down on Blunderbird 4 there. Been amazing fun. They arrive by helicopter. Great design. They can sing a little too. Don't ask them to. It's horrendous. But they are wonderful competitors, Mike Onslow and Brian Kilburn. It has been a privilege to have them with us once again. But boys, after that big build-up, get out of here. Go on home. We don't want you anymore. Because you're beaten, and there's no place on the Robot Wars history board or Hall of Fame for losers. Out you go, lads. And you'll be back, I know, next year. Apparently they plan to arrive by stealth bomber. We'll wait and see that one. There's Killalot about to bomb them out. Up and over. And a tactical war waste by Nightmare. And they did well here. But it's been fun to have the Blunderbird 4 team with us. And Killalot's about to end it all. Serve, Killalot, if you please. Boys from Hampshire, back you go. To your uniforms and your sunglasses and your weird weekends.
Dearie me, Blunderbird 4 have a bad dream. The Nightmare goes through. Hey, you've been making a lot of noise in the pits about how well you're going to do, how you're going to beat everyone up. You're not making so much noise now, are you?
Well, it's a slight mechanical malfunction, but actually before we leave you for this war, we'd actually like to make some noise of our own. Right, listen you lot, follow me. Shout out loud, make lots of noise.
Shout out loud, make lots of noise.
There's damage to be done by the Blunderbird boys.
There's damage to be done by the Blunderbird boys.
Gonna stamp on you, gonna hit you hard.
Gonna stamp on you, gonna hit you hard.
Gonna send your robot to the breaker's yard.
Gonna send your robot to the breaker's yard.
What's the word? Blunderbird! Thank you very much. We will be back.
I'm sure you will, lads. Nice to see you. Look after yourselves. Well, you got rid of the noisy lads.
Yes.
You're through to the final.
Yeah, it's nice to be the underdog and win.
And you're taking on Scudder, so it could be a decent fight. That he's not that hard a robot. Although he won't thank me for saying so.
No, he probably won't. No, but we'll give as much as we can take.
Were they giving you a bit of verbal back there as well?
In the kindest way, yeah. We can cope with that.
Oh, you're being very generous. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Nightmare! Well done, lads.
Blunderbird, you must be gutted.
Well, due to the ignominious intervention of the house robots, we have a little superficial damage.
How do you think the other team did?
Nothing that some sticky back plastic won't solve. But still, we're a little miffed and think that some retribution is in order.
But don't forget, we will
be back.
I tried.
Jules, give me the microphone. For goodness sake, they're going to start singing again. Thank goodness for that. Thunderbird 4, they've gone. Spawn of Scudder. against Nightmare in the Heat final. Promised to be a crunch, a mash, a bash.
There's 2 robots left standing, but only one is going to walk out of the arena. It's the 3rd and final round.
This is how they got here. Spawn of Scudder with the spike too strong for Banshee. They called it a cake. And then Vercingetorix pushed towards the house robots, and from then on, of course, there's only one end. And that was it. Spawn of Scudder went through to the Heat final. And Nightmare, having also gone through against Banshee, of course, defeated the Noisy Boys, the Blunderbird 4 team.
Right, are you ready to race?
Oh, yes.
Took you a while. You're
It did.
literally having to go straight into the arena.
Yes.
Is it sorted?
It is sorted. Yeah, Nightmare are going to find out what a nightmare is.
Yes.
Yes.
You've got your 5 kiloneutrons of piercing spikes. They can't go in without the hat and the glasses. Come on, team.
No.
Get it together.
The image ain't there.
Excuse me. Coming through. So you'll be the ones having a nightmare, according to them.
In their dreams.
Fighting talk. So we don't need any last-minute prayers then?
No, they do.
They do?
They do.
Yes, come on, boy.
Tell them to go and get down on their hands and knees and pray.
From Leicester, Nightmare. From Grays in Essex and seeded number 10, Spawn of Scudder. Roboteers, stand by.
Nightmare, Nigel Paget, Markham Summers and his son Lee, they're at the controls, and Spawn of Scudder, Darren Ball, the driver, Graham Warner in the middle, and Luke Chapman.
2, 1.
There's 2 young members of this final. Luke likes his karate, Lee likes his judo. So, it's gonna be a dust-up. Spawn of Scudder pushing. Nightmare back towards Shunt, getting a smack of the Shunt axe as well. But that was a powerful drive onto the bulldozer of Shunt. And I think that powerful drive has immobilised Nightmare. Look, there's no drive in those wheels, there's nothing going on. Well, Nightmare immediately immobilised. There's a rook on the side, but this is no game of chess. Spawn of Scudder has immobilised Nightmare right from the start. They know it. Nigel there, onto the arena, floor flipper. We'll see if that can inject some life into Nightmare. Over and out. Oh dear. What a shame. It was the initial slam on the shunt that did it. Who needs a stream it? That's good fun. A scary face, a scary performance in the Heat final, and more frights to come from the house robots. Shunt in there again. Well, it may well have got an axe blow in the Spawn of Scudder, but I think it was the power onto the front scoop blade, the bulldozer blade of Shunt that caused all the problems. Now, the circular blade of dead metal, the blinking eyes of Killalot, the flame pit. Oh, what do you want? We'll give it to you, Nightmare. Any which way you want it. The lance, the claws, the bulldozer, the flames, the tusks. You're served up for a treat. This is a dream for us. It may be a nightmare to you. It's a dream to the house robots. They've had plenty of time to toy and bash and smash and crush and crumple. Destroy. There's Nigel Paget. Well, they might have done better to put Lee in there, actually, with his judo skills. Killalot dragging Nightmare away. The Heat finalists belong to Spawn of Scudder right from the initial thrust. And after all this work, beating Banshee and Blunderbird 4, Nightmare finally ends up. Nightmare, good night in the pit.
Cease.
Easy peasy. Like taking candy off a baby. Spawn of Scudder are through to our series semi-finals. Need a Strimer. Well, it looks like you do.
I need an electrician.
What went wrong? It's just, you've come so far, you've done so well, and then poof.
We've no idea as yet. We don't know what's fell out.
Because it just died. It never really got
We
going.
had a big bang at the beginning, and after that it went dead.
Was it supposed to wake upside down?
It would have done.
It would have done.
But that didn't, so that's not working either.
Well, nothing's working now.
You call nightmare, but you'll be having a few bad dreams about that for the next few months, won't you?
Possibly, yeah. But we'll be back. We'll be back.
You will be back, and we will like to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Nightmare. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You the men. You the men. You the men. You the men. You were series semi-finalist last time.
Yeah, back there again.
And you know me, in a previous existence, I was very fond of scutters. You're doing really well, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, Spawn of Scudder, I mean, he's back to avenge his mum, which is what we said last year when we went out. Son of Scudder will return.
And so far, it's going according to plan.
It's so far,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Spawn of Scudder! Well, the crowds go mad when Robbie Williams soars, but it can't match the screaming on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Will Chris Eubank's robot be as strong as his punch? Celebrity Robot Wars this Wednesday, the 27th at 7:10 on BBC One.